All right, what's up, guys? Let's try this again. Yeah, I'm just here to just my thoughts on Caleb Plant. He just got dominated by Resendez, whatever the fuck the guy's name is. Plant is insanely overrated. He's been overrated ever since he got that win against Uzkatazi. The guy is just like, the thing is, like, all these guys, there's plenty other fighters at 168 that would have beat him. The only reason they didn't beat him is because Caleb didn't fight him. And the guys that Caleb fought that were a lot better than him, he lost to. But Caleb Plant never got the chance to get exposed, which he did here. He got exposed in this fight against a undersized, come forward pressure Mexican fighter. I mean, come on, Caleb Plant. Like, I don't get it. Like, my issue's always been with Plant. Like, he really doesn't know who he is. Caleb Plant thinks he's a black fighter, and he doesn't have the skills that, defensively sound black fighters have. And I don't like the fact that he trains with Breadman Edwards. I mean, he probably got his best win under Breadman with the Durrell fight, but we all expected him to win that fight, and Durrell was washed up anyways. Hold on one second. I'm placing some UFC bets here to got to chase it because, like, I mean, I did really good this weekend, but I had Plant on a lot of parlays, and he was my anchor on a lot of parlays, and it did not go well. So let me put in some bets here. All right, let's go Aaron Blanchfield for UFC because I mean, like I said, I mean, Plant just ruined my whole month pretty much because I set these parlays up. I do like 10, 15, sometimes like a 20 fighter parlay. And there are a bunch of these heavy favorites, a bunch of these 20-1 favorites, stuff like that. And I just put them all on there. And, sometimes one of them loses, but for the most part, like 20-1 favorites don't lose more than 1 out of 20 times, which that's how you make money betting. They have to, 20-1 underdogs would have to come in twice in 20 fights for you to win. I'm telling you right now, I've been doing this for 25 years. It does not happen a lot. You will win money betting heavy favorites in boxing. You will. I was just on a streak recently where I hit like 83 out of 85 fights. It's just, favorites usually come through. This shit happens sometimes, but this I was not expecting. I was not expecting Caleb Plant to get absolutely dominated and outboxed. Like, I can see shit like Jaime Munguia versus who the hell is it? Jaime Munguia versus Bruno Sarace. Like, Sarace one-punch knockout. Yeah, it happens. But, to get outboxed for 12 rounds and you're Caleb Plant, like, you should be miles ahead of this guy in everything, skill, like whatever it is. Like, Caleb Plant he got exposed. And, the guy, perfect time for it to happen in his career because he's kind of towards the end of it anyways. But, man, I wish they would have gave him that bullshit decision. Some idiot scored it for Caleb Plant. That guy should be investigated. But, I mean, the guy just got dominated. And I was sitting there watching the rounds, and I was like, God, maybe you can give Plant rounds. But, like, it's very difficult to give the guy who's the heavy favorite in the A side the rounds when, like, you either got to be coming forward and putting on pressure or landing very clean punches to beat a pressure fighter like that when it's just not your night, or for judges to give you any rounds. And Plant just didn't do that. And like I said, the guy just got exposed. That Resendez guy, I don't know how good he is. I don't think he's that good. But this is more of a thing, and this wasn't a fluke. It's not a fluke. It's just Caleb Plant ain't that good of a fighter. It's that simple. And when I say not that good, I'm talking about like he ain't as good as Edgar Berlanga. He ain't as good as Jaime Munguia. You know, he's definitely not as good as like Benavidez, Canelo. He lost to them. You know, but like I never saw him. I think guys like Christian and Billy would beat him. Uh, who else is out there at 160, 168? There's a lot of guys in the top 10 that I would have picked to beat Caleb Plant. It's just he never fought those guys his whole career. And when he did, he lost. You know, Andre Durrell, he ain't no top 10 fighter. He ain't no top, I don't think he's a top 15 in that weight class either. But like Andre Durrell and Uska Tazi is your two biggest wins, and you and your fans just do nothing but talk shit about, you know, how great you are and everything. Like, give me a fucking break, dude. You're you know, I wouldn't be shitting on him so much if he didn't talk so much shit himself and keep putting himself like I hated the guy because like look, I'm a nice guy in my real life. Caleb Plant always seems to be getting himself into some shit. And, you know, everybody would be on his side and everything. Like, I just don't like the guy personally, and I'm glad he got exposed tonight. His game plan was absolutely terrible. I think he needs to split with Breadman Edwards. Breadman Edwards' advice was horrible. Um, I, I mean, I just don't know what he was thinking all night. Like sometimes when fighters get outboxed like that, like they think they're winning the fight the whole time, and they're not. But like sometimes they think they're winning the fight. There's no way Caleb Plant thought he was winning that fight. He stayed there with that game plan of throwing 1-2 off his back foot all night, and that did not work. Like it's not a smart thing to do. 1 second here. I'm checking on my UFC. But yeah, I mean, like I said, thank God for the UFC. I've been crushing this card. I need Aaron Blanchfield right now. I mean, I'm just so pissed off at Caleb Plant. He was the anchor on a lot of my parlays. But I just I don't know what else to say about the guy. I'm glad he got exposed. I wish they would have given him the decision so I could fire a missile on Charlo against him, because Charlo would have put that dude to sleep within 6 rounds. Plant, he just doesn't know who he is. He's fought like this his whole career. He gets by because he's in it. The guys that are in against him are overmatched. But Caleb Plant, I knew every time he stepped up, I would have bet against him. He only did it twice in the last like 5 or 6 years, and he lost both times. But he would have got dominated. I'm telling you right now, Jaime Munguia would beat that guy. I would have said that before this fight. Edgar Berlanga would beat that guy. I would have said that before the fight. Christian and Billy would beat that guy. It's just he's not that good, and I'm mad that I didn't get the chance to capitalize on the value of taking these, you know, kind of heavy underdogs against them. Like I wasn't going to do it tonight. A guy like Remendez or whatever, like just because I knew, like, even as like I didn't think Caleb would get like that dominated. He looked okay in the first couple of rounds. He did his thing, but like he didn't get the respect of the guy who's a lot smaller than him. Like Resendez looked very small in there, and he didn't get the respect of him. So if you're fighting off the back foot all night, you know, your fans love to call you a big puncher, which you're not. But if you're going to stand off your back foot, not use your feet, you have to have some power. You have to get some respect. You got to put a dent in that guy within the first 4 rounds, or that guy's just going to keep coming forward. He's just going to out-volume you, which is what he did all night. But, I mean, geez, like I said, I'm just so pissed about Plant losing just because he was the last one. You know, you put together these parlays. You know, I put together a nice 10 fight, 15 fight parlay between yesterday and today. Of course, Caleb Plant's the only loss. And the thing that sucks is He's the anchor. So it's the last fight you lose. If he loses early, that's okay. You can refire the parlay. We didn't get a chance to do that. And, it sucks. It sucks going 14-1 and losing money, but that's the world of of gambling and boxing, because I'm telling you right now, you will lose money if you just sit there and bet underdogs in boxing. I've been betting nothing but heavy favorites for the last 20 years, and I've been doing just fine for myself. These things happen sometimes, but now, like, I don't know what the hell happens at 168. I hope to God, I hope Charlo or I hope that Remendez guy gets to fight Charlo next. And that's the other thing I haven't said yet. Like, shout out to that guy. Like, he came there, he fought his ass off. I was listening to my buddy 3D Boxing the other day, and the one thing he did say about Resendez is that guy will come to win. Gary likes to talk about guys that'll fight for your money. That guy will fight for your money, and he did. I mean, anybody who had him as an underdog, shout out to you, and shout out to Resendez, or whatever the hell his name is. I've only seen the guy fight once before, but I'm happy for him because he showed up. He put in the work at training camp. Caleb Plant did not. He didn't look like he trained for this fight. Like I said, his game plan was absolutely terrible. Just fighting off your back foot the whole night. Like, he tried that against McCumbee in the first fight, and it didn't work out too well for him. He changed his game plan. He got on the inside a little more. You could do that against a guy like McCumbee, because McCumbee, I don't think, was as skilled as this guy was. But it didn't work out for him tonight, and he just got exposed. You should have been levels ahead of this guy, and you should have been able to figure out. You should have been able to make mid-fight adjustments, and you should have a lot more of a skill set. Like, if you're not hurting him within the first 2-3 rounds, and your plan is to box off the back foot, and you're not hurting him, you need to change something up. Maybe you need to get inside. I don't see Caleb Plant as being that good of an inside fighter, but you're not going to win on the outside like that, like not against a pressure fighter. And this guy wasn't as overmatched as some of Caleb's other opponents, and that's why he never got exposed before this. But I'm happy he got exposed, and I'm happy we got some new blood here at 168. And like I said, I just love to see these guys. This guy, like Vladimir Hernandez, just signed up for a big fight. Like, these guys, they always come to win, and I love to see them get these big upsets, because it leads to another big fight, and they get to make a lot of money. Caleb Plant has already made his money. Yeah, he would have made a shit ton of money against Jamal Charlo, but like I said, I'm really pissed off that fight didn't happen, because I would have fired a fucking missile on Charlo. In that fight, like, depending on how this fight would have went, like, I'm sure Charlo probably would have been the favorite there, but Charlo probably would have only been like minus 150 or something like that. And man, Charlo, like, and that's the thing, like, boxing fans, they hate guys like Jamal Charlo. They hate Edgar Berlanga. Look, I don't like them that much personally either, but like, they're both better than Caleb Plant at boxing. I don't like when people, it's like the old saying in gambling: you never bet with your head, or never bet with your heart, you bet with your head. Like, these Plant fans that have been going off for the last 5 years, like, your boy just got exposed, and I'm telling you right now, he was never that good. And he's lucky to make the money he did. He just, I could say this: his career was handled perfectly by his management team. I think they saw this in him the whole time. Like, there's certain fighters, especially pressure fighters, that are eventually gonna beat him. But like, why the hell did you pick this guy? Like, there's so many other fighters at 168 that you could have picked of that had half a name, and just beat them. And like, why are you taking a chance against a pressure fighter like this? Yeah, you probably should have smoked him. The guy hasn't shown much in his career. I think he had a win over Jared Hurd a couple of years ago or something like that. But like, man, I mean, Swift Hurd is pretty bad now too. So that, that's not that much. But the guy's like 14-2, And Caleb Plant, if you're calling yourself a top 5 at 168, which I never thought you were, you know, like I said, I'm glad you got exposed. I don't know where he goes from here because if I was Caleb Plant, like I would just retire. You're not going to get a chance for a big fight unless maybe you wait for like if Berlanga loses to Shiraz, then you make Plant versus Berlanga. Like that'd be a great fight. It'd be a big money fight. Like I said, I would definitely take Berlanga in that fight, but maybe he's got a chance there. But like outside of Berlanga, Plant is going to be begging dudes to fight him. He's going to go off on his, talking shit to everybody to try and get fights. And hey, it's been working for him, but like he got exposed tonight, and the boxing world is not, because the other thing is like he's not an exciting fighter. He's never been like it. Caleb Plant's biggest attributes are his hand speed and his IQ, but he doesn't have great footwork. His chin is questionable, especially after getting knocked down by McCumbee. And even tonight, like he did not trust his chin against a smaller guy who's not a big puncher. You could tell that in the first couple of rounds. Like if he was confident in his chin, when the first couple of rounds aren't working out for you, like I'll say like the middle rounds didn't work out for you. You got to change up your game plan. And he didn't all night. And it's because he can't. He relies on his hand speed. He can get away with 1 or 2 shots because what he does, he throws 1 or 2 shots and then he does that shoulder roll shit. And that's worked in the past. It didn't work tonight because his opponent was just straight pressure. So there was times that Caleb Plant was landing clean punches, but it was one clean punch. It was either a clean jab or a clean right hand. And then that's it. He just stopped. And the whole night I was just waiting for him to be like, okay, he gave a round away there. But then in the middle rounds where he gave away like 3 rounds in a row, I was like, this guy's done. Like he's not just saving his gas tank. He's not just, he's not just trying to figure things out. He's not trying to download information. He's losing. And it's not by choice. There was times where like I'd sit there and watch, Floyd Mayweather and stuff like toy around, give rounds away, but you could tell he's giving them away. Caleb Plant wasn't giving away any rounds tonight to a 20-1 underdog. It's just there's nothing else to say. Like I said, I'm glad this guy lost. He fucked up. I think I had 10 parlays with Caleb Plant on him. A few of them he was the anchor on, and I didn't hedge at the end because I was so confident on him. And it was either between him or Charlo, where I was going to pick like who was going to be my big bet of the weekend. And because they were about the same odds, I picked Plant like an idiot because there was a lot of unknowns in the Charlo fight with the layoff and stuff like that. But never again on Caleb Plant, dude. Never again. I'm going to get off of here. I got to go check out my boy 3D Boxing. I got to check out my boy Gary. I know he's pissed too. And I know he's got the same feelings on Caleb Plant that, the guy, we both picked him to win, but like the guy's overrated. And I'm going to go listen to somebody else talk shit about Caleb Plant and watch this UFC fight. So have a good night, guys.